Thank you, everyone, for making the time to join us on this workshop. And why shouldn't you? You've got this amazing Jules who is generously giving her tons and tons of knowledge, information, experience, and sharing it with you. And most of you in the room have known Jules, have done, at least are in the orbit, or may not have known this. For those of you who don't, Jules has been in the PR space for over 2 decades. She has been on all sides of a business from a PR and publicity point of view, helping people get stories and media in just few sessions and just a couple of days actually after a program, getting people in the Sydney Morning Herald, Today News Show, all the mainstream media, big guides, and has really helped businesses go on a totally different trajectory. She's an amazing, beautiful person. And yeah, so I'm really excited about what you're going to learn from her today, which is a very specific one on how to get your product in the guides, in the gift guides. And those of you who've got products, you know how being on some of those gift guides brings you the actual outcome. They say PR is not for immediate sales, but in this case, what we are going to cover today is PR, which not only builds your brand for long-term growth, but also brings you immediate sales. So over to you, Jules.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. As Jasmine has said, the beautiful Jasmine. So Jasmine, Jules, and Julia are the three women running Handle Your Own PR these days. We're going to call ourselves Triple J soon. And we took a photo the other day at the lunch. So we've
the J trifecta. That's the other way.
There you go, the J trifecta. Julia is driving back from Wangaratta and pulled over at the side of the road at the moment.
Yeah. So it's pouring with rain outside, so I had to blur my background because it's too depressing.
In Melbourne. It's the same in Melbourne. So anyway, today I'm going to teach you about how to get your product in the gift guides. The next one we're doing, which is in 2 or 3 weeks, is about how to get yourself interviews on TV. But today it's all about the gift guides. The timing is really good. Hi, Jezreel, and hi, Jenny. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen and I won't see you. So put any questions into the chat or interrupt me. I don't mind. And then at the end, we can answer any questions and take it from there. So let's go. Okay, slideshow. And I'm just going to reduce you all so you're not all over my screen. All right. Okay, so how to get your products in the gift guides, brought to you by Handle Your Own PR. Oh, and now it doesn't want to do it. Okay, so the first thing is, what are gift guides? And I guess what I'm talking about today are the gift guides that appear in magazines and newspapers. They often are in digital media as well. That one of the things that people don't think about is also TV. A lot of the morning TV shows will do gift guides. And it's all about really they're just a showcase of products so that people can purchase. So they're very, very effective. And I'll tell you a story in a minute about a friend of mine who got in one. But when we're talking about gift guides, they are the normal key times of the year. And the 4 major ones are Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, and Valentine's Day. And almost all the media outlets will do some kind of a guide or product guide for those events. Let me just tell you a quick story at the beginning of my best friend, or one of my best friends, Victoria Edgar, is a jeweler. If anyone ever sees me, I'm dripping in silverware most of the time, and that a lot of it's been made by Vicky. And one year I said I would help her out and I would get some of her jewelry into the Age Christmas gift guide, which is one of the ones that you really want to be in if you've got products for Christmas, because it cuts off around the end of October, often goes out in 2 magazines, and that you get phenomenal results. But this is an example of a mistake that I made. So I posted it, managed to get it into the Age Christmas gift guide, which is a little magazine. And when I looked at it, they said that the brand's name was Jules. They had put her, I don't think they put her website. I think they put my website as well. And I just remember ringing her that morning and saying, oh my God, Vic, I am so sorry. They've stuffed it up completely. And you know, it's got the wrong contact details. And she said, you know what, Jules, it doesn't matter because I've had 39 people order so far. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of when TV works And when people see products, they will, and PR particularly, they will go and hunt you down if they like the look of it. And of course, now you've got Google Spectacles, so you could just take a photograph of it and it'll tell you. Just to talk about how it, oops, hang on, I've just tipped my microphone by mistake. Just to talk about how effective they can be. So, which media do gift guides? Well, I've covered off some of it, but I thought I'd show you some photos. So, on the
I
left,
think
we've got,
Jules, you your video off. Did you get your video off? Did you turn your video
hang on,
off?
let me just, right. Can you hear me again now?
Yes.
And you probably can't see me, but I'll turn on the video after the end of
Sure.
it. You can see the screen? Yeah, good. All right, so I was going to say that I have covered off what some of the gift guides are, but I wanted to show you some photos where I've got them in. So Sunrise there, you can see on probably the 5th of December is doing their 20 shopping days left till Christmas gift guide thing. And then the other one on the right is I used to do this all the time on Channel 9 for the Today Show and for the daytime shows. So that little barbecue that the guy is demonstrating on the right was one of my clients. They really, really work, and they're a great way to showcase your product. Often they will do a table of products and then the presenters go through the table and pick things up and try them on. So it can be a really effective way of doing it. The other one is the ones that you will have seen everywhere. So this is OK Magazine, which is unfortunately not around anymore. But Who Weekly is one that and I know loads of Australian women still subscribe to, one of the few, because it's very cheap and they have a really, really good renewal marketing campaign. And they will do this kind of thing as well. And it's often a page with cutout photos and just a price and a link to wherever it is that you can purchase it. But having said that, of course, photography is super important when you're doing product PR of any kind, and particularly for the gift guides. So I wanted to run through the 3 types of product images that you'll need. The one on the left is deep etched, which is pretty much what I was showing you. So they'll often do it on a white background if you can give them the product cut out. Back in the olden days, that was a very long and tortuous process. Now I know on my iPhone, I can just touch something on my photo and it immediately cuts it out. But, and I think Canva does that as well. But you will need that kind of a photo because you want to make it super easy for them to just be able to drop it into their pages that they're putting together. The other kind of shot that you want if you're doing product PR is your product in its packaging. Now, just so that you know, this is my product. This is a product I launched when I had little kids. A guy invented it and won the new inventors and then gave me the product in the end after we did some PR with him. So it was quite weird. Never made any money out of it, but just so that you know. So deep etch shot, a product shot, and then the last shot, which is incredibly important, is that you have what they call a lifestyle shot. And a lifestyle shot is your product being used. And when I train people in much longer, like the PR Accelerator, which we'll talk about later, but when I do that, I show them the photo of this child that was taken by his dad and we used in the very early campaigns, where the child has ruddy cheeks, the background's got a blind that's kind of half done. It's very dark and dismal. And then he got this professional photographer in, and it's just beautiful. Like, look at all the white dishes in the background, for instance, all washed beautifully, and the child using a glass bowl, which no parent in their right mind would use, but it very much shows how effective this product would stick a bowl to a high chair. So it was about showing how well it sticks so that the child can't throw it across the room, as they often do when they're 2 or 3. But those are the 3 kinds of shots that you're going to need if you're doing product PR. This is some more products, more of my products. I'm a disaster when it comes to products, but I've come up with a whole lot. So Sucker on the left was turning a baby or drink water bottle, so a Mount Franklin bottle, into a baby's bottle. And we created this really cool little product with great packaging. The one with the red envelopes were my red back envelopes that sold in Officeworks for years. But I'm just kind of showing you quality photography and the sorts of shots that they will need, depending on who you're sending it to. But most of them won't want a colored background. So the other thing is that gift guides are often organized into particular groups. So what I mean by that is they often do for her, for him, for the kids. Sometimes they'll do for the home office. And then the other way that they often do it, I think I've got that on the next image, is gifts under 100, gifts under 50, gifts under 150. So what you want to do when you're pitching your product is ask them how they're going to organize their gift guide this year, and then do it for them. So say, here are my products for gifts under $100 or under $50. They often also do a Kris Kringle one, which will be products in the sort of $20 and under kind of range. So keep that in mind when you're pitching your product, and let them know clearly what the price point is and who your target is, so that they put it into the right one. They'll often do one for teens as well. I'm trying to think of other ones. And sometimes in the women's magazines, they might do for mum or for grandma or something like that, which is sort of, for the slightly more mature women, shall we say, of which I can't believe I'm starting to fall into. But anyway, we'll move on from there. So that's how you first do it. You need to work out, where is it going to fit in their gift guides? The next thing is you've got to think, well, who do you want to approach? Now, we used to have gift guides in the Handle Your Own PR engine, but it is very hard to keep up with them. So the best thing to do is to pick up the phone. It is this simple. Work out what you want to be. So say you want to be in Who Weekly. You go to the Who Weekly website and you find the contact details, which is R Media. I think that's R Media. It might be a different.
Yeah, it's ARE Media.
It is our media. Okay. And then you basically ring their office and you say, hi, I'd like to speak to someone who's doing the gift guides for Who Weekly. They will put you through to Who Weekly, and then you can say, is there somebody who's been allocated to do the gift guides? I've got a product I'd like to pitch. So it's as easy as that. The same with Sunrise. You would ring Channel 7 and say, I'd like to speak to someone on Sunrise about gift guides. If you get through, you say to the person, hi, I've got a product I'd like to pitch for the gift guides. Who's the best person for me to send it to? And they'll either tell you an email address, or they will put you through to the person. But there are always, sorry, someone's just popped in. There are always ways, they will always tell you, because it's to their benefit. They want to get products coming in for their gift guides, so that they, don't have to do it all at the last minute, which is something that they all hate. So you just find the media outlet that you want to be in, and then ring them and ask them who is the best person to send it to. Now, normally you would send them an email with a high res or a low res image. You can send, probably, unless they ask you, if you speak to them, a low res image, because they can ask you for the high res if they're going to do it. A low res image, by the way, is probably under a meg, so it's just not blocking up their inbox and they can see it on their computer. And then a high res is probably 3 megabytes plus, and it's something that they can use for print. They will ask for a description. Your description is normally a paragraph. It's not a big, huge story this time. It's this product is used by blah, blah, blah. And what it does is this, and it comes in 15 different colors, and the recommended retail price is X, and this is where you can buy it from. So it's very, very simple. It is all about the photography. And that will be super important to them in terms of whether they'll use it or not. Now, the other thing is that you might be asked for samples. And I love this photo. These are my two little nieces. This was for it was for Studio 10, which used to be held at Como in Melbourne. And my little nieces, I was working on a brand of little girls' dresses, and they put the dresses on. Now, if you have got fashion, one of the things, and I know Jess is going to be one of them, one of the things that the media outlets love is the cuteness factor. So if you can, if they're children's ones, and you can bring along and say, we could have a couple of children that could demonstrate it. If they're for adults, you could say, I can send someone along, or I could model it myself. In this instance, if you look in the background, you can see they have presents for dad, mum, kids, girls, boys, etc., etc., and they just go through the table and pick them up. But it was a very windy day, and those are my very cute nieces, who are now like 21 and 25 or something. The next thing you need to think about when you are pitching products to the media, and it's actually when you're pitching anything to the media, is think about the lead times. And by that, what I mean is that some media outlets will work, with a longer lead time than others. So you want to kind of play around with those and give them the right amount of lead times. Now, TV in general doesn't work a long time ahead because they want to be very current. And so it's very rare that they'll go, oh, send us something, that you would pitch them something now that you want to be there in January. So normally about a month before they're going to try and sort out what the gift guide's going to be. You can call a bit earlier and ask who'll be doing it. They might not know by then, but you could probably push that to maybe 6 weeks, but I don't think you'd get much love if you're outside of that time. However, excuse me, magazines are a different ball game. Weekly magazines work about 6 weeks ahead, and monthly magazines work about 3 months ahead. So around now is when you should be pitching to the magazines. And as I said to you, with the Age and Sydney Morning Herald Christmas gift guide, which is often 1 or 2 little magazines that they put out, normally the last week in November and the first week in December, they will be cutting that off at the end of October. So you need to go and hunt them down. It used to be, I don't know what they do now, but it used to be that when you rang the Age and said you wanted to get into the Christmas gift guide, they sent you to an external company who put that together for them. So it might be something like that as well. But magazines are the first ones that you want to contact, and you probably want to do it this month if you want to get your products into the gift guides for Christmas. And then the last one is sort of the last minute things that you can do. So online media, look, I've even sent it to them like 2 weeks before. They only need a day or two to put it all together. Fairfax Media do one where they just have photos of the product and a link on it. Other ones will put it together a bit more like a magazine. But to give you a rough idea that what's in front of you is about right for when you're going to pitch those products. Now, another great guide is Source Bottle, and I'm sure many of you have heard of it, but if you haven't, you need to know about it. Source Bottle is where journalists go when they are looking for people to interview and when they're looking for products for gift guides. Now, if you subscribe to it, it's free. You will get 2 call-outs a day, one at 10 a.m. and one at 2 p.m. every day, or roughly around that time. And they have a long list of, are you a mum living in Queensland that's, I don't know what, they'll ask lots and lots of interview questions. And then probably from about now on, you're going to start seeing, we're putting together a gift guide. Have you got good products for mums, or have you got good products for women, or whatever it might be? So Source Bottle is really worthwhile signing up to. Those emails can become incredibly annoying after a while because they are twice a day. But when you're actively trying to do PR, you should read every single one. You should respond very quickly because they go out to about 45 or 50,000 people, and the journalist will stop when they found someone to interview or when they found a product they can use. So you do want to get in very quickly, and you can send attachments with Source Bottles. So I would suggest you send the photo with anything to do with a gift guide. Now, the other lovely thing about Source Bottle, and that you might not be aware of, is that you can be a source. So they have a thing called samples, prizes, gift bag fillers, and in-kind sponsorship, which is just another, I think that's, no, that's not when you're the source. That's when you need to find a source, I think. And in there, you can post yourself, and it's pretty sure it's free, if you've got products that you'd like to appear in gift guides. So you can see here, Emily Reviews is currently seeking to partner with brands who have items that would make great holiday gift guide ideas for teenagers. Or FemCon is on the lookout for prizes to enhance their event in October, etc., etc. So you could say, holiday gift for, I mean, Jess, for you, you might go, fabulous fashion Christmas gift idea, and just put up a post saying, I've got these fantastic T-shirts all around women and feminist issues, and if anyone is targeting women in their gift guides or in their events in the lead up to Christmas, please let me know. So that's it in terms of the content. Now, in order to be able to get out to the media, you need some media contacts. I know I've said call them, but one of the things that makes it much easier is if you have that phone number to call that media outlet, or you have the name of someone on that show or in that magazine. So our PR engine is brilliant, if I say so myself. You can create and manage unlimited PR campaigns. So normally you can sign up for 12 months or 6 months. Sorry, was someone wanting to say something then? No, it's just there was a little glitch on mine. So you can sign up for 3 months or a year. 3 months is $5.50. A year, I'm not exactly sure anymore what the price is. But in that time, you can do a PR campaign per day if you want to. It steps you through the process, so it helps you build your media contact list. There are thousands of journalists on there. And the way that you do it is you can go lifestyle products or real estate products or products for men, products for women. It's all in there. Then you can build your own media contact list. When you go into that section of the PR engine, you can actually see the journalist name, what their title is, where they work, what their phone number is, and what their email address is. And any that we don't have in there is because we ask the journalists if they're interested in being in the database. And some of them say, no, we only want professionals contacting us. So if there are some missing, what you'll need to do is go and look them up, as I told you, and that's just Googling. And our contacts are constantly updated. We have an automatic email that goes out every 3 months to the journalists to ask them if their details are correct. And then we have a lot of people who use the PR engine, and we have a little button beside each journalist name that says, this journalist needs updating, or journalist contact is out of date, and you can let us know as well. So between us, we're constantly updating the media database. And when you build a media list, it will automatically update those contacts for your next campaign if you copy it. There's also a super easy to use media release template where it says click here to add your logo, click here to add your photo, write your headline in here, drop your body copy in here, and format it. So it's all sort of set up, and then it turns it into a beautiful PDF that goes out with your email. And your email goes from your own personal email address, and the journalist will respond to you directly. So you don't have to go back on the platform to see if they've responded. It's also got a section where you can follow up, which I would normally suggest people do 2 or 3 days after they've sent out a media release if they haven't had any response. And it allows you to make notes on the journalist. So if the journalist says, I'm not interested in green products, you can make a note of that. And then the next time you're sending out, you can check what that note says. So it's a really useful platform. And I would encourage you to go and have a little look. It's on the Handle Your Own PR website. We've got a video on there where Naomi Lambert, who's one of our star students, actually takes you through using the PR engine and how to make it work. And as I said, it's only $5.50 per quarter. So really, it's well worth the money for the amount of publicity you can get out of it. The other thing that we've got coming up, and here's the QR code. So if you've got your phone handy and you want to take a QR code, that's where it is. Otherwise, you go to handleyourownpr.com.au, and on there you'll see PR Engine, and you can just go down and have a look from there, and you can purchase it online. Now, the other thing that we've got coming up is super exciting because I did these for probably the 3 years before the lockdown. Then I brought it online, and now we're back to doing it in person. It's got a 95% success rate. In fact, I'd say 100, but I'm a bit scared to say 100. But basically, everyone who has come to the PR Accelerator has got publicity. And the first workshop, they're 2-day workshops that we hold 3 months apart. And the first workshop is going to be on the 27th and 28th of November. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about what's involved with this program, because it's friggin' brilliant. The first thing is that you get some video lessons to watch. There are 6 of them. They're about 45 minutes to an hour, and they're quite detailed because I talk about a lot the 6 steps to doing PR, and each step I've given you an hour. So how to come up with a newsworthy angle, how to work out what your target markets are, what to get ready beforehand, how to approach the media, how to do your follow-up, and then what to do with your publicity once it's finished. It's all self-paced. You can watch them, in a day, or you can watch them one a week, whatever you like. And they are really practical. So as you go along the way, you'll start making notes, and by the end of it, you'll know exactly what to do. At the PR Accelerator, though, what we do that's just a little bit special is we bring journalists into the 2-day events, and they sit with you to mentor you. So this is not one of those other events, and there are 2 or 3 of them around, where you get 15 minutes to go and pitch to a journalist. These journalists are going to come, they're going to go out for lunch with us, they're going to sit around in the afternoon, and you're going to be able to say, this is what I want to do with my PR. And they're going to say, well, here's some really good angles. Then you write. So it is a bit of a writing workshop, and they will edit your media releases and explain to you why they're moving it around and what they're changing. So I'm telling you, this is so valuable because you get to really understand what it is that journalists want and how to spin your story in a way that you're going to get it picked up. The course is a 6-month course, so you get 4 days of in-person workshops. And the way that it works is we do 2 days, and in those 2 days, we work on the next 3 months worth of publicity, which is 1 media release. So you'll write 3 media releases over the 2 days. And then you go away. We can set them up so that they're actually scheduled to go out on the PR engine, and I'll help you with putting together your media lists. And then basically what happens, as we all know, after you've gone and done a whole lot of learning, is that your motivation comes down, you forget stuff. And so by the end of 3 months, you're like, I don't even know what to write again. I don't know if I can be bothered. And the beautiful thing is you come back and we do it again, and that gets you all fired up for another 3 months. So you should get a minimum of 6 articles published over 6 months, probably more, because by the time we've taught you, you'll be able to go out more often. And of course, what I kind of say is that if you want to be known as an expert, you probably need to get about 20 articles published, including podcasts. So it's all sorts of things. But so that if someone Googles your name, your page is filled with, articles that you've done, interviews people have done with you, et cetera, really positions you as an expert. The other thing that's included in the PR Accelerator is online group mentoring. So every Friday morning at 8 a.m., I get out of bed and talk PR with anyone who wants to ask me a question. So over that 6 months, you can choose 10 times to come and talk to me about whether you need help with your media angles, whether you are, the journalists have come back to you and you don't know how to react. Maybe you want me to have a look at your photography. Maybe, we can do whatever you want, but it's all about helping you to make sure that you have, you're doing the best job that you can at getting publicity for your brand or for yourself or for your brand who might be yourself. And the PR Accelerator, as I said, is the gift that keeps on giving. So as well as that, you get my ebook, which is called How to Get a Lifetime of Free Publicity. It is 40 pages with just about everything I could think of about how to do your own PR. And I've done examples all the way through the ebook of personal PR, product PR, and B2B PR. So you've got examples of what the first paragraph might be for your media release, or what your photography might need to be, or the kinds of target markets you might be needing to think of. You also get access to our PR Masterclass video library. And I've done about, I'm going to say 30, it's roughly 30, 20-minute masterclasses on all sorts of things, like how to pitch to radio, how to pitch to TV, what's an exclusive, how do you get a regular gig on TV, or how do you get a regular gig in the media? So it's a resource that you can use that is filled with, I would say, gold nuggets. And last but not least, at the PR accelerators over the years, I've interviewed the journalists who've come, and some of them outside of the accelerators, about what they're looking for in a pitch, what they love about what people have pitched to them, some of the things that they hate. And I always ask them whether anyone ever says thank you, because heaps of people forget to say thank you to a journalist. I've got TV producers on there talking about how busy they are and what's the best way to pitch to them. So it's absolute dynamite, really, and you get that included as well. So as I said, the first 2 accelerator events are on the 27th and 28th of November. And here is the QR code that will take you through to the PR Accelerator, or go to handleyourownpr.com.au and click on PR Accelerator. And you can learn from journalists and get 3 months worth of PR done in 2 days, or come for the 6 months and you get 6 months worth of PR done in 4 days. Either way, they're really, really valuable. So I hope that that has been useful. I'm just going to stop doing this now and see all your beautiful faces, and just see if anyone's got any. Oh, hang on. But you can't see my beautiful face. just to see if anyone has got any questions.
Yeah, we do have few questions, Jules. So I'll just go through. So the first question was from Jenny. This is when you were talking about the photos and the
Yeah.
kind of and the size. You mentioned low res, the size under big. She wanted to know what the pixel size, if there's a pixel size.
Oh my God, Jenny, you can't ask me things like that. That's way too technical for me. I have no idea at all. All I know is that
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. What
you know your digital marketing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is the size, the only thing as a filter. When it is online, they say 300 DPI. Sorry, when it is high res, it's at least 300 DPI, which is only to be sent when they ask you for that, if they're interested in the story. So the first image that you're sending is just 1 meg. Don't worry about pixel size.
Look, I've sent images that are, I think it's 96 DPI or something, but it's very low. And if it's kilobytes, it's even better than if it's megabytes. So
the main thing is not to clog up anyone's inbox. So when you're approaching the journalist, to send a low-res image, and the best thing is to create an image gallery online and send them a link to that, so then they can click in if they want, and they can just download what they want. You don't have to resend anything. It's all there.
Although I'll just say that there is a sneaky little thing that I do. If you send them low-res images yourself, and don't let them download the high res, then when they come back to you and ask for the high res, you kind of, firstly, you're creating one extra step for the journalist, but then you know that they're going to do a story. So it's kind of, you can do one or the other. If you are going to send them a link, don't send them a link to 50 images. They just can't stand it. Send them a link to 3 or 4. They just want to be able to choose something. They don't want loads and loads. And Jess, if you wanted to send different collections, then I would do them as different releases and then give them 3 or 4 examples of what you can do.
That's
Any
good.
other questions? Oh,
we have a question.
No, I just wanted to say that for web optimized shots, I use 72 DPI.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. 72.
And, if you're putting together something that you want someone to create an EDM out of, you can either do it as 600 pixels wide or 1200.
Oh, God, you know the pixels. Woohoo! Thank you for that, Di. I have no idea about things like pixels. I get very confused with banners when they go, it's got to be this many pixels by that many pixels. I'm like, whatever happened to centimeters?
I know.
I'm showing my age, aren't I?
Awesome.
Thank you.
Jenny has mentioned about Dropbox, as if she's just said,
that's
can you use it?
Sure, Dropbox or a Google Drive or whatever.
Yeah, I find with Dropbox that sometimes people's email is not the email that you have sent them the invite to does not match the Dropbox email that they have, and it's more complicated. So yeah, I would say.
And mine always says your Dropbox is full. Sorry, we can't download anything. So I've got to go and delete everything and then do it because I don't have a paid Dropbox. But yes, that idea is Dropbox or G Drive.
Yeah, but OneDrive I use. I think I'm the only person I'm the only one that uses Microsoft, but I like it.
No, I think
the idea is to make it simple and easy for the so at the start, a low res image, but that can be included in the media release is the best. And after you've got their buy-in, I guess they're going to publish it. Then asking them whether a Dropbox link is fine or a G Drive one.
Yeah, you can ask them. I just want to say for people like Vern, so Vern's business is amazing. It is online wills, which I just think is brilliant. So you don't download anything, you just go on and fill it out. It's called Duck Row. Very clever. I'm about to write my will in it and I love it. But for things like that, and I don't know, Vern, whether it would go for a Christmas gift guide, but just in print, the principle is that if you wanted to put it into a gift guide, you would need to turn it into a product so it's got a photo, which would be that you might do a voucher. And you could do a voucher with, if it's a spa voucher, you might have some pictures of, I don't know, smelling salt, smelly stuff in the foreground or a candle beside the voucher or something. But you need to kind of productize it and make it look a bit like a product. And then you can send it to them and go, only $1.99. The best gift would be giving someone the gift of having, the peace of mind of knowing they've got a will or whatever. So just think about it. If you've got a service and it's a service that you think people would like to gift others, then create a gift guide and give them a photo still. So, I mean, sometimes I've done it where you've got, I might do a picture of a voucher of some kind and maybe some Christmas baubles in the foreground or sprinkled around it or something. So that is just another way that you can kind of productize your service. Probably won't work for coaching, but it would depend what you're coaching, I guess.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, like aside from the mainstream gift guides, there are all these magazines which are also promoting gifts for certain segments.
Yes.
And have that productized. And this is a time when people think about meaningful gifts. So
In fact,
even
it
if,
might work. The Fin Review does them, and some of the business media will do them as well. So, you know, you could go and inquire and see if there's an opportunity to do a coaching guide gift or something like that for someone.
yeah. And even the wills, like it's such a, that's a product that you could put on as, you know, it's a gift, which is a good timely gift
Yeah,
for people as
exactly.
well. We had another question, which
Jenny's got
was
a hand up
from,
too.
okay, so we'll take this question and then go to Jenny. We've got a question from Lisa saying that I've replied to source bottles several times and never got a thing. Do you have any tips on what could help?
Yes, my biggest tip is don't spend a lot of time on your source bottle response. When I've actually got a great video where I interviewed Beck Darrington, who's the founder of Source Bottle, about that. And she always says, I do not want people to spend more than 5 minutes on it. So firstly, you need to respond really fast. So there is no point with some people. I send them something and go, oh my God, look, they're looking for something that you do. And they'll go, yeah, I'll get to it tonight or tomorrow. And I always think straight away, don't even bother, because it'll have gone by then. So the first thing is react as fast as you can. If you're a day behind or 2 days behind, even if they say their deadline is 3 days, I wouldn't bother. Secondly, the best thing to do with Source Bottle is to explain why you are the best person, to why you're the best person for them to use, or why yours is the best product. So if they say, I mean, and Beck used this example, so say it's a dietitian wanting to know if wanting to interview people that are for and against sugar, you wouldn't go and say, I believe that sugar is really bad because blah, 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 and write 1,000 words to them. You would say, I'm a nutritionist. I absolutely believe that sugar is a negative in people's lives. If and I've got a degree in this or whatever, if you would like to interview me or you'd like further information, here's my phone number, here's my email address. Full stop, move on to the next one. And if you see those ones where they ask that we're just looking for a minimum of 1,000 words on such and such, I tend to avoid them. Unless I can see that they're going to use loads and loads of them. So sometimes they say, we're going to do a series over the next year and we want people to talk about their home offices. We're looking for 500 words and a photo. That's slightly different to we're going to write an article about such and such and we want someone to comment, and they're only looking for one. You wouldn't bother spending a whole lot of time writing to them until they've said, yes, they want you to be the one that answers it.
Yeah, awesome. Great. So I think whoever has a question can ask. I think we still have some time.
Yeah, Jenny's got her hand up. So Jenny, how can I help
talk
you?
quicker than I can type, so I think I'd just ask it. As you know, I run a digital ecosystem that connects consumers to social enterprises, charities, not-for-profits, and B Corps. And we've got about over 90 products at the moment. They're not actually our products, they're our members' products. And we've got a whole lot of members signing up at the moment because we've got a new thing, which, Jess, I'll be emailing you on this afternoon.
Oh, brilliant.
So just wanted to say, in terms of promoting, like in photos and stuff, should we actually send it with their logo, or should we just send it without a logo on it, and then have the link to our site where they can still buy it?
Right. I would probably send it with your logo and a link to their site, or even better, can people purchase from your site?
Absolutely. That's one of the primary things they do. Yeah.
Well, I'd be doing a couple then. I'd be going a great place of, I'd be sending an actual more of a story media release first, or what you could do is create a template and send it to all of them. What I'd do is I would do their logo, their photo, your link as the where people can purchase. And I would probably preface it with something like, many people like to give away gifts that have purpose or meaning that will help others. By going to, I can't remember the name of your website, but
Greatest good.
yeah, by going to the greatest good, you will be supporting not-for-profits and social enterprises. Some of their products are featured below, and then you could just do it that way.
Yeah.
But one of the things
Thank
that
you.
might be easier would be to send them all a template with just that little sentence in it and get them to put in their description and their photo and send it off themselves.
Yeah, we've got all of that. We've got all their photos. We've got everything. We actually
cool.
We have all of the things. So we've got, as I said, about over 90 products. And we've got
That's a hell of a lot though, Jenny.
today.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
an
no,
awful
we
lot of
wouldn't do that. We'd probably choose a couple from sort of the main, you know, we've got lots of hampers and stuff like that.
Well,
so.
another thing you could do is group them according to how a lot of them do it. So you could do gifts for her, gifts for him, gifts for kids, gifts for teens.
Yeah.
And then put maybe 6 products on each or something. I wouldn't do much more than that.
Yeah, we've got a gift guide we're working on at the moment. We did a gift guide for Father's Day as well. So we're just.
But if you do a gift guide and you send them the gift guide, the journalists are going to think that it's already been published.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I get it.
Yeah. Great. You know exactly what you're doing. And let us know if you get them in. Share them everywhere and
I will.
Share them too.
Thanks.
Cool.
So, yeah, and I don't know if all the people in this call are in the Facebook group. If you're not, do join us there. It's a place to celebrate your wins, share what you're doing, and really get more leverage from your media, because once you've done that, it's other people who see it and we post it around as well.
So there's 3 Handle Your Own PR Facebook pages, unless anything's changed. Just so you know, there's Handle Your Own PR, which is the page. There's the Handle Your Own PR gang, which is the public group that anyone can be in, but everyone can see what you're doing. And then if you become a paying member of Handle Your Own PR, you can go into the Handle Your Own PR members group. But don't try and get into the members group if you're not already paying as a member, etc., etc. So, but look out for the Handle Your Own PR gang is the one that I think is really good.
Yes.
And when you get published, pop it in there, because then everyone can see it and share it. All right.
Any other questions? Do you have any more questions for Jules? So you just do a wrap up? Cool, good. I think it's great. I mean, every time I learn so much. I don't know how many times I would have watched these all the content, but there is always things that I learn about PR and learn about you. And you know what is great about this session, the session that you run? There are people who read few things about PR, have done a degree, and then they just sort of teach people based on what they've read. They haven't run a public PR agency. They don't know what it means to pitch to media stories to the journalists and do that back and forth and learn from that. And then there are people who have never run a business like you. So been there, done that. Like you have created your own products, pitched your story, seen the success from it, seen what failed.
And probably taught about 1,000, and I've probably taught about 1,000 people now. So I definitely know what works and what doesn't.
Yes, and these are people who come to you with curly questions, with challenges, and coaching. So it's amazing. So yeah, thank you so much, Jules.
My absolute pleasure. And I hope I'll see everyone on the 17th of October at the next one. So if you haven't already registered, you can register via the Handle Your Own PR website. But that's going to be about how to get on TV. And if anyone wants to, I could talk a little bit about how to try and get a regular gig on TV as well. There's some networks that will be more open than others. Most of it you need to know is completely unpaid. But you can get some really great exposure from it.
Awesome. Very
Just
good.
want to give a shout out to Jules, who spent one-on-one with me last Friday, even though it's a public holiday. Thank you so much.
How did you
sorry
go?
for grabbing you so last minute. But I was really eager to hear from Jules what is her thought around digital product sampling. And basically what she told me is I still need to wrap around with a story so that we can increase the chances of being featured. And if the journalist finds it interesting, they will then sample the product. We can't just send out the digital product samples. And I thought might as well I
That's
just share what I've
very
learned.
true. Yeah. And the
Thanks.
other thing is that don't send unsolicited self-published books, because the journalists tell me that they throw them in the rubbish bin, because and so really any unsolicited products, I think, these days, because firstly with self-published self-published business books, there are a lot of them around, and because a lot of people don't use editors, some of them are really badly written, so they like to know more about the person first, or to have known that it's actually come out from a known publisher. And the other thing is that when you send beautiful gifts to journalists, if they don't want it, they give it to the journalist on the next desk, or their neighbor, or their best friend. So if you don't want to waste money on sending things out, you're much better off to send them a photo, ask them if they would like one, and then if they would, send them out a sample then.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. Thanks, Vern. And thanks, Jules. Thanks, everyone for on the call. See you all.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
Thanks,
Might
ladies.
see you on the 17th.
Yep.
Have a
Bye.
safe
Oh,
trip.
great, Philippa. I'm very glad to hear that. Bye.
Bye.